Hello and welcome. Oh, we should change the background because we're here streaming to nobody. It's me, Phoenix Electra. This camera looks terrible, but this one just shows the back of my head. What we really want is these goodies in front of me because I am not awake. It is hotter than Satan's ball sack around here. I hope my audio's coming through. I have nobody's here to tell me if I'm working. I do have a Loki. Of course, he's always just off camera here. I still can't see him, and now all you see is boobs. Is it too early in the live stream to say that? All right. So, as the light is so bad, I should change it, but the important stuff is in front of me and not what's going on over here. So, whatever. I thought that as I am continuing on with this corset making misadventures, I would just go through a couple of things that I've learned so far to help make it slightly less horrible. And with all of the pieces, weird shapes, this, that, and the other thing, there's a lot of ways for the pieces to get confused and all sorts of things. There's a lot of room for problems to happen. So I thought I would show you how I've attempted to keep things organized. So I thought yeah, that's my goal for right now. My cord that connects my computer to my camera is only so long, so I am nooked in between. You can see above me my camera pointing downwards so that we can see this beautiful spread ahead of me. Oh, I can't even feel like a turtle, and now I'm shaking things. So let's see here. Things that you are going to need to help make this process better. One of these fancy hem rulers with the slider. And I'm going to have mine marked at 1 centimeter or wherever this first hash is. I guess that's half an inch and not a centimeter. We have a Loki who thinks he's going to. Loki, are you going to steal the show? Are you going to steal the show? Oh, don't step on the. All right, so you're good. Oh, Loki's changing the backgrounds for me. So let me just. Okay. It's getting close to supper time around here, and usually on the Sunday show, he's like, the camera's on. I should be getting snackies, and I'm not. What are you doing, human? Yes, this is the back of my head. Okay, so you're going to need a ruler, a marking tool. I have black canvas on the back side, so I've got a white pencil. So you want something that you're going to be able to see on the fabric. So on this example piece, you can't really, there, I've already marked this piece. This one just needs to be flat lined and then attached to this one. And then I also I flatline along my seam allowance so that your fluff is everywhere. So I can use that as my guide when I'm basting the other pieces together as this piece, as you can see here, sort of if I move my head out of the way. So here's the front piece, and then these guys need to be basted together. So I am just going to, so I don't get confused, pin these two pieces together in the appropriate orientation so that I remember who goes where. This is 1/2 1/2 of the Tulip Corset from Aranea Black. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to have a sipper of my sippies. Grab my other sippies. And I'm just going to show off real quick my beautiful lacing strips that ooh, look at all those beautiful hand-sewn eyelets. All right, so I'm just going to set these pieces aside. And I like a nice flat surface, so here is my cutting mat. Wow, I already said it's hotter than Satan's ball sacks. Not as hot as it had been, but it is still quite toasty outside. And so this piece is where I'm going to pop the knobbers for the busk screw. This piece also needs to get marked, but I'm just going to finger press it. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You need to be able to see, and I need to get out of the way. All right, so I'm going to take my tool and line up the notched portion at the edge of the fabric and just draw a little line. That's some spacing apart. About, I don't know, an inch or so. But I'm gonna hold off on that one because that really needs to be pressed. Because here is the piece. So this is the, wow, these pieces got really, the papers got really crinkly. So can we hold this up? What I'm having a hard time showing. Can I do it on this camera instead? So here you can sort of see on each of the paper pieces, I put in registration marks on the paper so that I know who's supposed to sit next to who. I also, at the top of each piece, numbered it and put in a B for bust so that I knew which end was the top section. And am I gonna have to like literally lay on the floor to do this? This is, I think this is why I did this on this stream instead of my normal Sunday stream, because like this is gonna be weird. Nobody watches me anyway. But such is the life of a nobody influencer. So what I'm going to do next is tuck in here, and I am going to unpin piece 2 from piece 3. I'm going to set the whole gloopily goodies over on the top, set my paper piece aside, and I also, so I have the piece number 2, my registration marks. So this goes side 1, side 2, and then I also have marked which pattern this is. I'm going to flip it over to the back side. I'm going to take those pins and stick them back in so I can hold the inner and fashion fabric together. And I'm going to line up the paper real quick, and I'm going to just mark, this is my side that has the 1. I should have brought my pencil sharpener, and this is 2. So I can know who gets oriented where. And we're going to kind of rinse and repeat of take the marking tool I'm sorry. And just mark our marks. Is very exciting, but from the first version, it didn't do it. There was some fit issues. Also, you got to make sure you cut the pieces out the appropriate with. Don't leave. It's like some of them I'd like written, oh, add seam allowance, and then I didn't. Let me add another pen. This is super shifty. You shifty corset, you. Okay. That should be marginally better. This is 2 centimeters, 5/8, 1.6 all the way to the end. I wonder if, okay, so note to self, I think I was only supposed to use 1 centimeter seam allowances, and I basted it a little bit tighter than that. But we shall see if, we'll see what happens. And I go through the top, all the way to the top. Not going to mark the top because that's going to get dealt with later. And then I go through and I do the other side. And I'm going to use these lines to outline the pieces together. Do, 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 do. Oh, I'm glad that the air is a little bit better. There are some multiple fires burning south of us. We'd made it to the beginning of the month without any fires, and I was like, oh, maybe, do I dare hope that we'll have a summer without fire and smoke? Nope. Too much to ask for. And then I am going to open up my needle dolly. The light is like washing everything out. Grab the needle that I've fallen in love with recently. And I'm just, oh, I should. Okay. And then I found it easiest if I just do one piece at a time. So I don't unpin all of the pieces from up here all at once. Needle. That's where I trimmed it and not made it all the way through. Okay. Okay, so then very carefully, I like to take a little stitch horizontal to the tail and then do another little horizontal stitch. And this is just going to help to anchor my thread so that if I accidentally get too vigorous with the pulling of the threads, I'm not going to pull it out. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I have liquid courage and electrolyte water. Everything is pink and pretty right now. And then I'm just going to take some big Oh, you know what? But I am going to mark around the bottom because I think instead of separating this, I am just going to carry it along. And it's not going to matter because I'm not going to use this thread to base the pieces together. This is just to, my head is in the way. I know, I knew that this cord, USB connector cord to my camera was short, and I didn't realize it was going to be so tricky. It's a good thing I am on the floor and bendy. And I'm just going to follow my marking line. I just take some big stitches. It's just, these stitches are solely to hold the front and the back pieces together. That's so funny, because watching an old video from Noelle costuming drama the other day, and she's like, I don't show my hand stitching because the thread always gets in knots. What happened? We have a knot, but you know what? It honestly doesn't matter right now, so we're not going to bother with that. You just carefully, oh, you can't even see how. My arms are not long enough for my head to stay far away. Will this work? Okay. So if I move my body in weird ways and try to move my head out of the way, you can sort of see what I'm doing here. I'm just following the lines. Oh. How's everybody doing today? I know, oh, it's so great being a no-dodi influencer. I put on a thing on Instagram to let people know, did I get any likes or comments or responses? Not a single one. Did I set up the stream yesterday to get some excitement? Do I have anybody? Yes. Did anybody bother to stop by? No. And Loki is singing in the other room, and you can't hear him, but I do. Come on, Loki Fluff. Lokesters, hey, big boy. He is coming up the steps, oh yes he is. He is coming up the steps, oh yes he is. Hey, Freya Frew. Look at you, pretty girl. And they're like, but isn't it almost supper time? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I get to the end, and I try to get that last stitch to come up right along the line. So I can just make it easier than last time. Then we get to the next corner. I take this pin out since I'm getting stuck in it. And we carry on. I try to make the thread just long enough to flatline the piece. You don't want it too long because that increases your risk of knots and just getting stuck in things. And then I don't feel like I'm wasting too much. So it's so many spools, like not even like commercial normal spools. I mean the giant industrial kinds. I got a lot of stuff that I inherited or collected. And yes, I see, all you can see is the backs of my head. This piece, it does take time to go through all of these steps, but from my misaligning and weird things from the very first version of this I made, this has helped immensely in keeping myself and the pieces organized. Fortunately, I do have the other one as reference if I completely flub something up, but I do not think it's going to happen because I was very careful in keeping all my pieces organized. And once we're at the end here, I'm going to do that same tack that I did at the other end. So I just take a tiny stitch perpendicular to my previous line of stitches. It's just that easy. And all right, so this one's done. So this is piece 2. I'm going to set that over there and get the next one. But I need to move my leg. My hip is falling asleep. I know this is not a OnlyFans, but we do have a foot pick. Is there any way I don't, I'm like completely stuck inside the tripod here. Yep, there's my camera, there's my head, here's my tripod. But let us see how many more of these we can just crack out before it's time to feed cats. I can't go on to the next part until this part is completed. Okay, part 3. Flip it over. Make sure it's lined up. So this gets 1, 2, and this side gets 1, 2, 3. Set the paper piece aside. Oh, those are going to need to be ironed if I need to make this corset again. Hopefully this version turns out spooktacular and I can just wear it and enjoy it. But we shall see. Fingers crossed. And then again, we're just going to rinse and repeat for all of the rest of the pieces. And this does it. I mean, this whole process is time consuming, partly because I fight with my sewing machine. The tension's off. I wonder if I need to just change my needles more often. The right size needle, something. But it gets all like gloopy on the other side, which is just weird. Oh. Scusies, scusi, scusi. And we just do the exact same thing. I know it's super exciting, time consuming, but I'm really not sure. I mean, not that I've made significant amounts of corsets before, but if you, when I didn't take the time to do all these shenanigans the last time, there was problems. There was also different problems with that version, but I can get it done, so. But this will significantly, I think, increase my success rate. This is just a very fiddly project. Not that I didn't suspect it to not be fiddly, but you just got to do these things. I see. Just makes it marginally less painful. Yeah, honey? Why don't you come sit in front of me so everybody can see you? Because they don't show up for me. I think everybody shows up just for cats. Except for today, where I literally can't get anybody to show up. The comment section is non-existent. My human is gone. I'm all by my lonesomes right now. But I want to be able to I can't get to the next parts of this corset until this part gets done. And once this is done, side is flatlined, I can show you what I do next. So on this piece, I'm going to start on the side that I've marked as 3 so that I can come around and end up on the side that's marked 2 and leave myself enough thread theoretically that we can then go through and attach these 2 pieces together. So I take off from one pinned pile and sew it so that everybody stays next to their buddy. Ow, don't. I hope we've got audio. It's so weird that I can't have my human tell me if everything's working right. But, you gotta learn how to live stream by yourself. Literally. Okay. And I do doing the exact same thing. It gets very repetitive, and you're like, do I need to really do all these steps, Phoenix? I'm going to say yes. Yes, you do. You do not want to get lost and confused as much as you might want to rush and just get on to the next parts of it. Don't do it. These parts really are monotonously important. Which is why I thought I would pop on and attempt to show you how I do this so that I could, because I've been working on my dressing gown in the morning, partly this week, so that I could distracted by outside noises. So that Sunday we can get on to some more exciting parts of the actual backstitching all these goodies together. Oh, I keep moving out of the camera frame. Ugh. I know we are professionals around here, as Emily D. Baker says. And I really like talking to the camera, even though it would be more fun if I had some people in my chat section and my comments. Hey, replay crew. And all my folks on the Rumbles. Because A, I gotta work on costumes. B, I need to do some hooping. And I'm like, is the corset, is it hoopable for my act? I know it's going to be, but it's gonna feel a little weird. Oh my gosh. And I needed to put in an order, excuse me, Amazon. And who got 5.5 yards of 1/4-inch steel busk? Yup. Yes, I did. Because the plastic one really bends out of shape quickly. And I have a feeling, at least in certain spots, I don't know. I just thought that getting some of the metal would be a good idea. So I did. Do I know how I'm going to cut it yet? Nope. Do I at least have a file to file the edges? Yes, that I do have. I'm just turning the corner I described earlier. Come up the other side. You don't want to like pull, you don't want anything. So you want all these, it's called flat lining. You want the pieces to lay nicely flat together. And it's just this, all of the steps are just slow. Especially because I'm not sure if I'm going to use the machine at all, and by doing it by hand, it's going to take more time. But I'll show you when we get to the next part. Don't get ahead of yourself, chap. I guess if I'm going to do a Thursday stream, I should have an intro card that says Thursday and not a Sunday card. Oh well. Next week. And yeah, it takes time. I mean, we've not even finished 2 sections, and it's taken us a little more than half an hour. So this is time consuming. And you also need to be awake. This is not a time to do, not something I've been able to do like in my morning stitching time if I'm like didn't sleep good and not paying attention. Not that I'm like fully awake right now, but you gotta have your careful brain on and be in a good mood. And then I'm gonna take it through to the other side. And so this is notch 2, this is notch 2. Okay, so this is where you, okay, 2, 2. These go like this. Right? Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna line up the tops. I think there's some, the bottom of this one is, I don't know, but okay, words. I'm gonna sew, I think this time I'm gonna try to do the bone channels on the outside, so that is the way I'm going to base these together. So I've got wrong sides together. And just in case anything's on the bias, don't pull too hard. You don't want to like stretch anything out too much, make anything too wonky. And I'm just going to double check once more. 2, 2, this is 3. Okay. It's very easy to it's very easy to make mistakes. And so then this thread that's still connected, I'm going to use my flat lining line. And I can double check on the front and the back side to use that as my guide to put these two pieces together. It is easier if you have everything laid flat. And you can check halfway through to see, just to double check that everything is coming together nicely. And this time I did not do the little tack at the other end, because I'm going to do it at the end of this piece. I can kind of flip them over to see, just to make sure everything's lined up. You don't want your pieces to get squidgied. I'm also trying to be careful to not like be overly rough with the edges, because they've had no everything's prone to fraying right now, so be careful. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. Oh, now you just see the back of my head again in my camera. Wow, you don't know how to get better unless you start somewhere. So that's where we're at. I don't even this camera. Can I? No. No, the light's a little bit better, but oh well. And then I just got a good, well, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 5, because I've got that one 6. All right, I am probably going to call it quits after I get to the end here. A, because I got to feed cats. B, because the rest of this really is rinse and repeat. I'm not going to do, everything is literally the same thing that I've attempted to show. And since the camera angle is not amazing, I will not suffer you through like 3 hours of this nonsense. All right, so I'm gonna take 2 little blocking stitches, and I'm just gonna leave this tail, and I'll deal with it later. All right. So I hope that was helpful. TTFN. Have fun, folks. Bye. I can't even get out of here. Don't wait till tomorrow to be fabulous today. And I'll catch you on the next side. Bye. Bye. And